Good morning and welcome to the 2015 Annual Convocation. That was our amazing, spectacular, award-winning concert jazz orchestra. I want to thank Jeff Jarvis, Director of Jazz Studies in the Bob Cole Conservatory of Music, and his students for that outstanding performance. Let's give them another round. Now that song was called My Shining Hour, made famous in a slightly different arrangement by John Coltrane, but written for the 1943 film The Sky's the Limit. And both the title of the song and the title of the film, I think, well express my sentiments as we begin the new academic year. President Connolly is beginning her second year. The budget outlook is as strong as it's been in a long time. Our graduation rates are the highest they have ever been and climbing. External funding has had a spectacular year. Our Declare campaign recently achieved its goal of $225 million. We're welcoming 58, yeah, right. We're welcoming 58 amazing new faculty members who will be introduced later. And our freshman class, including our 25 new President's Scholars, is one of the strongest we've ever admitted. On Monday, I told the new faculty that if, as Woody Allen claims, timing is everything, then their timing is superlative, because this is one of the best times in a long time to arrive at the beach. Give yourselves a round, would you? Now, before we take stock of the year and look ahead, I want to take a few minutes to acknowledge quite a few people who have joined us today. First, our vice presidents who bring experience, talent, and dedication, one of whom, Carmen Taylor, has been here for 1 year now. I'd like to ask them to stand so we can give them a round of appreciation. Second, my academic affairs senior staff who provide incredible leadership and support. Fairly new to their positions are Mark Wiley, Dushi Saniet Nathan, and Nayla Himpelamer, who were appointed last spring. And new to our team this fall is Shauna Dark, who is taking on the role of Associate Vice President for Academic Technology. Shauna brings to CSULB a demonstrated record of innovation and success and tremendous enthusiasm, and we're fortunate to have her. Please give them a round of applause. Stand, everybody stand. Right there. Yeah. Thank you. I can't see if they're standing or not. And I also want to make one special acknowledgement. I want to extend my deep gratitude to Roman Cochin for serving as interim Associate Vice President for Academic Technology for the past 5 years. When the budget was bad and we lost someone in that role, he stepped up and said, I'll take care of it. He ensured that academic technology ran smoothly despite extremely difficult budget years. Roman, please stand. He will continue to have an active role. He will continue to have an active role in aspects of our academic technology infrastructure, and of course, he will continue as Dean of the Library. I've said many times to him and to others that I get more ROI out of a dollar I give Roman than to anybody else on campus, so I really, really appreciate what he did. I also want to acknowledge our talented and dedicated academic deans and associate deans. Please stand and let's give them a round of applause. And who has what may be the toughest job on campus? I want to acknowledge our department chairs. Would they please stand? If you're an academic administrator and you missed that role, you missed the toughest of the academic roles. As I mentioned earlier, we have 58 outstanding new faculty. Because we are so desirable, we receive many applications for every position that we advertised. This year, we ask our applicants to describe how they are prepared to work with our very diverse students. And I am pleased to report that each of the people that we hired provides a strong commitment to student success. This is an exceptional group who has said they are looking to inspire excellence, create new campus and community collaborations, and expand research opportunities. For only a few of them was a desire to escape harsh East Coast winters a contributing reason for coming here. Will our new faculty please stand? We are really glad to have you. And new colleagues, new faculty colleagues, I need to tell you that you are joining a remarkable and dedicated faculty who are committed to excellence and to the success of our students. Please join me, everyone, in a round of applause and appreciation for our entire tenure track and lecturer faculty. Thank you for your commitment to our students and to the campus. And everything we do has been supported by our staff. I ask that all staff in attendance please stand, and let's give them a round of applause and appreciation. We couldn't do it without you. Now, we also have outstanding student government leaders. Would Jose Salazar, President of Associated Students, and any other ASI executives attend? Please standing. Please stand. And you will hear from Jose in a few minutes, and his remarks are touching. I've read them. In our Academic Senate, we also... No, they're great. They're really great. In our Academic Senate, we have outstanding campus leaders led by Praveen Soni, who are dedicated to shared governance. Will the members of the Academic Senate Executive Committee please stand and join me in a round of applause? Great. Now, a few more. May I ask these folks to stand? Mario Leon, Chief Steward of the State Employees Trade Council, who is here with his team. Hold your applause for a moment. Dora Apodaca, Chief Steward of Academic Professionals of California. Kathleen Hansen, CSU Alumni Association President. Michael Jackson, Chair of Staff Council. And Doug Domingo Froste, President of CFA. Would you please stand and let us give you a round of applause. On behalf of the university, I offer my thanks to each of you for your commitment to the success of our students and for your leadership on this campus. Now it is my privilege to introduce a very special group of students who are here with us this morning. Each year, we carefully select a small number of students to be admitted to our campus as President's Scholars. Our Scholars Program is one of the most recognized in the nation and certainly the most recognized in the state of California. This year, we welcome 25 new scholars to the Beach family. I ask that they please stand. They're here somewhere, I think. We are delighted to have you. Also with this morning are parents and family members of these high-achieving students. Would they please stand for a moment? That's great. And before I move on, let me say how grateful the university is to our Alumni Association, to the President's Associates, to individual donors, to the Division of Student Affairs for their invaluable support to the President's Scholars Program. The success of this program would not be possible without you. Can we give that group a round of applause, too? And one special recognition. None of this would have been possible without the truly outstanding role that Valerie Bordeaux has played in building Bob Maxton's dream. So if Valerie's here, I'd like her to stand and let us give her a round of applause. I'm sure she's here. Sorry, Val. Thank you, Valerie. And now, I'd like to introduce our new ASI President, Jose Salazar. Jose was born in Mexico and grew up here in Long Beach. He attended Long Beach City College, where he was inducted into the Student Life Hall of Fame for completing 200 hours of community service within 4 semesters, and he was honored with LBCC's highest award, the Viking Award, for his involvement and accomplishments in student life. At CSULB, he is majoring in aerospace engineering and minoring in physics. Wow. He has been involved with over a dozen student organizations and held leadership positions with such groups as Delta Chi Fraternity, MAES Latinos in Science and Engineering, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, and the Mesa Engineering Program, and many others. His achievements are especially impressive when you consider that he has faced numerous challenges as an undocumented citizen and as a first-generation college student, working full-time to pay tuition and to help his family financially. I know from having had lunch with him on Monday that his dream is to work for SpaceX and to contribute to the exploration of outer space. We are extremely fortunate to have him serving as ASI president this year. Please join me in welcoming Jose Salazar.
First of all, it was 400 hours, not 200 hours. Just it was a typo. It's still online. I'll fix that though. But thank you for that introduction and for this amazing opportunity to speak here today. I can honestly say that when I walked on campus for the first time 5 years ago, I never thought I would have the opportunity to speak to so many prestigious Cal State Long Beach and Long Beach community leaders. I was raised in this wonderful city, going to school right down the street at Millikan High School. I was that student listening to famous LB artists such as Snoop Dogg, Sublime, Warren G, back in the day when CD MP3 players were still cool. After graduating from Millikan, I attended Long Beach City College. And as you could see, this great city continued to give back to me. As some of y'all may know, I'm the first undocumented student body president here at the beach. And needless to say, life has its hard moments. But back when I decided to run for president, with all the challenges I knew were ahead of me, I decided to go for it anyway, to send one message to my fellow students, that no matter where you begin, even the underdog can become an alpha. You welcoming me here today fills my heart. Thank you. I wanted to take this opportunity to briefly talk about how excited I am for the year. I'm sure many of you will agree the most important part of this university is the students. Because we are not only the future leaders, we are your future entrepreneurs, engineers, teachers, executives, scientists, artists, and politicians. From experience, I know this university houses some of the smartest students in the nation. The help and support of our professors, administrators, staff, student government, and student organizations help our graduates prepare for the challenges facing the future of this world. And not just any challenges, major challenges such as global warming, world hunger, unemployment, poverty, world peace, economic development, and racial/cultural tolerance. This is why it is crucial that student government represents and impacts the daily lives of our students. I've seen what our students can do. We attend national, international conferences and competitions with powerful research, positively representing our university. We have students building aerial drones, rover drones, underwater drones, rockets, robots, digital applications. Other students volunteer and help their community by outreaching to elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools, to low-income communities, all in an effort to positively impact our community. There's a daily breeze of success blown from our alumni that cools down the insecurity of a future that sometimes can seem scary. I'm looking forward to representing over 37,000 students, and as part of an underrepresented community myself, I vow to speak for those communities that sometimes get overlooked and aren't always reserved a seat at the table when big decisions are being made. Moreover, I look forward to continuing our tradition of shared governance and working alongside the community, the vice presidents, the provost, and President Connolly to make this the best and most represented year CSU has ever seen. Go Beach!
Thank you for those remarks, Jose. It's students like you who make CSULB a very special place. I'm now pleased to introduce another campus leader who has helped to advance shared governance on campus. Praveen Soni previously served as Academic Senate Chair from 26 to 10. During his tenure, he worked to enhance faculty visibility and increase student involvement in Academic Senate councils and committees. He was instrumental in making the ASI president a member of the Academic Senate Executive Committee. He was honored for his contributions to shared governance in 2010 when he received the prestigious Nicholas Perkins Hardeman Award for Academic Leadership. I also recall he worked with me on some student success initiatives at that time. Dr. Soni also represents our university on the CSU System-Wide Academic Senate. Please join me in welcoming an outstanding campus leader, Senate Chair Praveen Soni.
Thank you, Provost Dowell, for the introduction. It was a pleasure working with you, and I intend to continue to do that this year as well. Good morning, friends. Good morning, class. Okay, welcome to the 2015 CSULB Convocation. Welcome especially to the new students and new faculty members who have just joined the university. I'm a faculty member and the chair of the Academic Senate at CSULB. I'm here to talk to you about my university. Actually, for all of us, as well as the new students who have been soared out and the new faculty who've been methodically reoriented over 2 days, this is now your university as well. So let me talk to you about our university. Our university has garnered numerous accolades over the years, many of them related to student success and overall graduation rates. All of us have worked hard to gain the honors for our university. However, the chief architect of student success is none other than Provost Dowell. He wants to hide out there on the side. Thank you very much. Actually, you guys just jumped the gun. I was supposed to say give him a round of applause. You gave it to him before that. But that's okay, not a problem. Okay. The first time I was elected chair of the Academic Senate, the university had a new president, and we were about to embark upon a search for a new provost. Once again, the faculty have entrusted me with this job, and I thank them for their vote and confidence. Would you know it, though? Once again, the university has a relatively new president, a year old, and we are about to embark on a search for a new provost. Well, as some famous person has said, it's deja vu all over again. So, now would seem to be an opportune time to message. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah, okay, sorry. This is a good way to cut me off, I understand that. So now would seem to be an opportune time to look at a few challenges our university faces. By working together and meeting these challenges, we can make our great university even greater. So our university has the challenge of providing equal success to all students by focusing efforts and resources to eliminating the significant and persistent graduation rate gap that exists between the majority of our students who are low-income, underrepresented minority students and non-underrepresented minority students. Graduating these students quickly will be a boon to their families, our communities, and our society, and will relieve capacity in the university for greater access to excellence for even more low-income students. Faculty are the raison d'etre. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. It's a French word, but it means the reason for being of the university, and why students clamor in large numbers to the university to be educated and become productive global citizens. I know some of you would disagree, and a few of you even vehemently. Well, ask yourself, how many students would graduate if there were no faculty in the university? Thus, to meet the challenge, did you answer the question? I think it's a 0, right? Okay. Thus, to meet the challenge of providing a high-quality education, our university must invest in the renewal of faculty through the continual hiring of tenure-track faculty in current disciplines and in disciplines of the future at a rate significantly higher than the replacement rate for retiring faculty, such that the tenure density will see a considerable increase from a precarious 55%. I too had the pleasure of meeting with the 58 energetic and enthusiastic tenure-track faculty who have joined us this year. It was a great experience, but we do need many more. The CSU Statewide Senate believes that tenured and tenure-track faculty are critical to the health of the university and has recommended a goal of 75% tenure density. Additionally, our university has the challenge of significant our university has a challenge of significantly improving the ethnic diversity of our faculty so it would mirror the composition of our diverse student body and our great diverse state. Also, our university has the challenge of mending the fractured faculty morale and rewarding the daily professionalism and dedication of the great faculty and staff of the institution by providing respectable salary increases for all faculty and staff, as well as substantially reducing or eliminating the gross inequities that exist in the salaries for all ranks in all colleges. The state just declared a drought, which El Nino will take care of this winter. However, recent paltry salary increases have not made up for years of faculty and staff salary drought, or for the loss of 10% of salary in 1 year for all employees due to furloughs. Faculty morale and confidence can be further bolstered by providing equal opportunity to all faculty and staff for career advancement, especially to administrative positions. Ethnically diversifying upper administration and discontinuing programs and structures perceived to be favoring a few will certainly be a step in the right direction. Our university has the continual challenge of effectively and efficiently utilizing the lion's share of our resources of the university's core business of education and knowledge to provide instruction and other services at the grassroots level to students, faculty, and staff who interact daily to meet the mission of the university. To meet and overcome the stated and other challenges that might arise in the future, our university should utilize the collective wisdom of its employees by further strengthening shared governance. The Academic Senate, college faculty councils, and other shared governance bodies are good examples of shared governance and should be respected as equal partners in decision-making. Their involvement should be sought at all levels, from the highest levels for shared leadership to the grassroots level, from the inception of the problem or challenge facing our university to enumeration and evaluation of a diversity of options to then a final solution. To respect faculty representation, academic freedom, and faculty independence, representative faculty members duly elected by a democratic process of their peers should be included in all groupings, regardless of nomenclature, set up to advance the mission of the university, including elected representation to all university auxiliary bodies. Conclusion. Sitting up last night, I was wondering how to put everything in perspective. Something that would be easy for me to explain and easy for you to remember. The analogy I came up with was, would you know it, playing pool. I think I got this one right. To win, you have to pocket the 8 ball. Is that correct? Thank you. Okay. Before I proceed any further. To win, you have to pocket the 8 ball, which no doubt, as Jose Salazar mentioned, is student success in the university. And our university has done a marvelous job at it, courtesy of Provost Dowell. In pool, though, you do not win if you pocket the 8 ball, before pocketing your other balls, which in a university setting are labeled staff success, faculty success, shared governance, diversity, equal opportunity, parking. Wait a minute. How did that get in there? Question is, who should our university emulate? On the one hand, remember I'm a business professor, on the one hand we have Walmart, the largest multinational in the world. It consistently pockets the 8th ball by making lots of profit. But one hears reports about the employees who are overworked, underpaid, and some who are even on food stamps. On the other hand, we have Google, which also pockets the 8th ball. In the last quarter, it made $4 billion with a B dollars in profits and has an ungodly amount of cash at hand, $60 billion or so. Try to think about that. Our goal, which we have achieved for our comprehensive campaign, is $225 million, a large amount, but less than 0.4 or 1% of Google's cash at hand. VP Taylor, where are you? Okay. But I digress. However, to Google, people are swarming for work. Their employees have high morale, are dedicated and innovative, and produce goods and services that customers are willing to pay good money for. Thus, if our university pays attention and pockets all the other balls, especially those of staff and faculty success, then our university would have improved the morale and won the hearts and minds of our valuable employees, making the pocketing of the 8th ball of student success a cinch. In my opinion, then we would all have achieved something even more valuable than student success, and that is organizational success. My dear friends, won't organizational success be a great vision for our university? Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Praveen, for those remarks. As I said at the beginning of this morning's program, in many ways this is our shining hour, the best time in a long time to be at the beach. And that has not gone unnoticed. We've received state and national recognitions this past year for our innovation, partnerships, and commitments to students. Last fall, the American Association of State Colleges and Universities awarded CSULB the inaugural award for excellence and innovation in student success and completion for our highly valued degree initiative. This award recognizes our remarkable achievement in supporting students all the way to degree completion. Now listen to this. A decade ago, our 6-year graduation rates were below CSU system averages. A decade ago. Since then, our graduation rate has increased about 20%, and that's about twice the rate of improvement of the system. It's also about 5 times the rate of improvement of comparable institutions nationally. Our current graduation rate is about 18% above the most recently published national average for large public master's institutions. For underrepresented students, we are 20% higher than comparable institutions nationally. For African American students, we are 19% higher, and for Latino students, 15% higher. So these gains have lifted all of our student groups. Percentages are interesting, but what does this mean for students? It means that literally thousands of students, and thousands is the right order of magnitude, who might have gone away empty-handed without a degree in recent years, have instead graduated with degrees because of all the hard work of advisors, other staff, faculty, and campus leaders to support them all the way to degree completion. I thank you for that effort over the past decade. Another key national recognition this past year was provided by no less than the White House. We were one of a select few universities in December invited to attend the White House College Day of Opportunity. Another recognition in March of this year came from the governor of California, who honored CSULB in partnership with Long Beach City College and Long Beach Unified with the Governor's Award for Educational Innovation, a $5 million award that recognized the longstanding partnership among the three institutions. Faculty and staff in some departments have made particularly notable contributions to these gains. Awards for highest graduation rates and highest average improvement in retention rates were announced last spring for 22 departments: Africana Studies, Anthropology, Civil Engineering, Communication Studies, Computer Engineering, Electrical Engineering, English, Environmental Science and Policy, Film and Electronic Arts, Finance, Geography, Health Science, Human Development, International Studies, Journalism, Marketing, Political Science, Psychology, Religious Studies, Social Work, Speech Language Pathology, and Women's Gender and Sexuality Studies. Please join me in a round of applause for those departments. We also last spring honored a number of faculty for their excellence in teaching, advising, service, and research, and scholarly and creative activity. And please hold your applause till I list these. Shadnaz Asagri from Computer Engineering, Jenmi Chang from Math and Statistics, Joanne Conley from Rec and Leisure Studies, Judy Green from Social Work, Ezra LeBanc from Theater Arts, Betty McMicken from Speech Language Pathology, Selena Nguyen Rodriguez from Health Science, Leslie Reese from Teacher Education, Praveen Shankar from Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, and Henry Ye from Electrical Engineering. Please give them a round of applause. They are the truly outstanding leaders among the faculty this year. Now, looking to the future, 2015 was an outstanding year, but we will not rest on our laurels. Under President Connolly's leadership and in collaboration with Vice President Carmen Taylor, we'll be working on laying a groundwork for the future. We have set additional ambitious goals tied to the White House College Day of Opportunity for student success. We're creating a new Student Success Center. We had some good news on that just yesterday from Mary Stevens. This fall, we expect to announce faculty, department, and program awards worth up to $10,000 for innovating in high-impact practices. If you haven't seen that notice, I believe that's gone out, right, Mark, already? Yeah, so that's an opportunity that we'd love you to take advantage of. We will seek to invigorate our first-year experience based on collaboration between academic and student affairs. Carmen and I and a team traveled to a conference in Oregon together, taking about 8 people from our campus to lay the groundwork for that. We're way ahead nationally. We're probably in the top very small number of institutions nationally in electronic advising and predictive analytics, which, if you read the Chronicles, a hot area. We have really done an amazing job. Tom Ender's probably here somewhere, and he's a key person to thank for our progress in that area. We're going to expand digital learning with leadership from our new Associate Vice President for Academic Technology. We are going to bring new focus to our graduate programs. We had a couple of very productive task forces at work last year, and look for lots of interesting news about graduate programs in the coming year. We will continue to expand tenure track hiring to at least 70, maybe more, for the coming year, and we will continue our let's give out a round of applause. We will continue our Leadership Fellows Program, which is one of the university's secret weapons in fostering campus effectiveness. And you might have seen I guess this hasn't been announced yet, first time announcing it. That program actually won an award from ASCU this year, also for excellence and innovation in leadership development and diversity. So Dan O'Connor and Karen Nakai are the brains behind that operation. Give them a round of applause. And just as a footnote, I have spoken individually to every single person who's gone through that program. Every single one of them has used the word transformative in describing their experience. This year, we will also place an emphasis on digital learning, global engagement, service and research, scholarly and creative activity, all of which encourage active learning and student engagement. Digital instruction. In recent years, innovative faculty members have converted about 150 courses to fully online modes and about 30 more to flipped or hybrid modes. Our new AVP, Shauna Dark, brings new energy to these efforts. This past year, our student excellence fee began in full, and my office allocated about $6 million to build out the infrastructure So 23 new high technology classrooms in LA 234 and in business and in education and in a variety of places around campuses have come online. And our approach to digital instruction will be guided, like everything we do, by the principle of what works best for students. Global engagement, led by innovative faculty. A total of 865 students studied abroad in 37 countries in 2014-15. That's a 21% increase from 2 years ago. More than 545 studied abroad in summer, winter, and spring break in as many as 24 countries, including Cambodia, China, Costa Rica, Greece, the UK, France, Ghana, South Africa, Spain, and a multi-country trip that I wish I could have gone on to Germany, Poland, the Czech Republic, and Hungary. Take a moment to think about all the global issues in front of us every single day: the Ukraine, Palestine, Iran, Syria, trafficking of Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar, immigrant children, and much more. Every college graduate, to be well educated, needs a global perspective, and so we have set a goal of doubling the number of students who participate in study abroad by 2020 with leadership from Jeet Joshi. Our continuing efforts to infuse a global perspective into our curriculum have well positioned us to prepare students for this increasingly global future. Community service. More than 3,000 students participated in some form of service last year, investing more than 32,000 hours in the community. Our campus commitment to service earned us a national recognition. We were named to the President's Community Service Honor Roll and received the prestigious Carnegie Community Engagement Classification. In addition, the Peace Corps ranked us as one of the top Hispanic serving institutions based on the number of Beach alum in the Peace Corps. And service learning gives students a valuable opportunity to apply classroom learning in a real-world setting, and we will be looking at ways of expanding that going forward as well. RISCA, Research, Scholarly, and Creative Activities. Faculty achievements in basic research push back the frontiers of knowledge. Applied research helps to solve human problems. Creative endeavors inspire and probe our humanity. Involving students in working with faculty on RISCA is one of our most powerful, high-impact pedagogies. Even during the period of difficult budgets, CSULB, unlike many of our sister campuses, maintained a sizable investment in RISCA. 2 years ago, we were investing $1 million of campus resources in direct support of RISCA. Last year, we invested $2 million, and this year we will invest about $2.2 million. In addition, we provided awards for faculty assigned time, for new faculty, support for research assistants this past summer and during the academic year, and incentives for faculty to prepare proposals for external funding and multidisciplinary grants. So speaking of external funding, we had a remarkable year for external funding. In 2013, we secured about $25 million in external funding. This past year, we nearly tripled that amount to $65 million. Give that a round of applause, folks. That's amazing. Now, true, a portion of that was a single large grant known as BUILD, led by Laura Kingsford, who's really worked very, very hard. But even if you take BUILD out of those numbers, you've nearly doubled the amount of money that we brought in that year. So congratulations to all of you who have contributed to that amazing success. Value. There's a lot in the media these days questioning higher education, but there's something the media always seems to miss. Universities are not all the same. At CSULB, our combination of quality, affordability, and student success adds up to value. We advertise a highly valued degree, and we deliver. We have a great story to tell. It's a story about passion, creativity, hard work, community, and success. Let's take a minute to see what excellence at the beach looks like.
Do you think this dinosaur was a big dinosaur or a small dinosaur? Big dinosaur. Enormous dinosaur. And there were all sizes in between. That means there was really small ones, enormous ones, and everything in between.
Thanks to Andy Huang and his amazing team. I don't know if Andy's here for that video. Long Beach is truly more than a university. It's a very special place because of the people who have worked to make it the best it can be. It is special because we prize our diversity. We cultivate an atmosphere of respect and civility. It is special because we support our students who trust us to provide them with degrees that open doors to promising student futures. As many of you know, this will be my last year as provost. I have enjoyed serving for the last 2 years and look forward to this final year, and consider myself remarkably fortunate to have been able to work with outstanding faculty and staff and other administrators who are all committed to improving graduation and retention rates and ensuring that we deliver excellence and value. I've been honored to serve as provost because CSULB is a great and special public university. Thank you for all you do to contribute to the special nature of the beach. And now I would like to introduce President Conley, a responsive leader who has demonstrated strong commitment to the beach. Her support for students is inspiring. In her first year here, she made it a goal to attend at least one event for all 19 athletics teams, and she made it. She joined students to help build a house in New Orleans over spring break, and she led a very special commencement ceremony when she delivered a diploma to a student in the hospital after he missed graduation due to a motorcycle accident. We are fortunate to have her leading our great university. Please join me in welcoming the 7th president of CSULB, Jane Close Conley.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, let me add my welcome to the 2015-16 academic year, and I'm so glad to be starting it with all of you. Special hello and warm welcome to our President's scholars and their families, of course. I'm blown away by our concert jazz, right? Are they wonderful? And certainly our off-campus visitors, our alums, our current students, and of course our new faculty. And let me give a special shout out to my husband, Collie Conley, who's here. You should wave. I like for him to come to my speeches because he never criticizes. We've been married almost 40 years, so that's why he knows that. And of course, most importantly, all of you, the beach community. The provost has outlined with great skill our accomplishments during 2014-15. Thank you, Dave, for your excellent leadership for many of those distinctions. We simply would not be in the position of national eminence for student success without you. I'm very grateful for how you've kept students first and earned us substantial national attention for doing the right thing. And I have to say, I don't know if you could see Dave kind of dancing over here while the music was going on, but he's got more rhythm than I thought he had. I think it's kind of pretty great. Thank you all for making my first year at the beach such a success. Our 2014-15 success is based on the work done by all of you, actually the year before I got here. It's fun to bask in your well-deserved recognitions. I'm basking, so you should bask. Take a look at some of these. Okay, enough with the basking. So while the colleagues just pictured have been working hard and doing great things, the question I think about often while watching squirrels and eating, not really, but I love that picture, so I do it, is what are we going to do now to ensure our university's viability over the next 66 years? I raise this question because we're in a struggle for the survival of U.S. public higher education as it exists today. Obviously, nothing lasts forever in a frozen form, but there are significant threats to the best parts of our existence as an urban land-grant university. More on this later, as I ask you to plan with me to excel in what's now called a VUCA environment, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Sounds like fun, huh? So there are some higher education paradoxes that I think about. Number one, the US undeniably has the greatest system of higher education in the world, and Long Beach State is a world's best-in-class university, as illustrated by your success with our highly diverse student body and many, many other markers of excellence. But the rest of the developed world is investing more in higher education, and even with the small improvement in our state budget, leaving us, by the way, still $65 million behind as a system than our 2007 funding, our nation appears unwilling to make the same level of investment. Two, Long Beach State is a university of choice with all that implies about your skills and our unique location. Thank you again for that. But information is ubiquitous. It is the connections to other areas of scholarship, careers, translations into novel settings, innovation and entrepreneurship that are the rare commodities in this era. Are we home to all of these in addition to our deep specialized scholarship? Have we internalized and institutionalized our commitment to the success of all of our students? This is the same demographic that most universities are failing to educate deeply or even to graduate. Three, students and national organizations laud our teaching, our athletics, our graduation rates, our innovative programs, and student services. But poverty among young people in America is rising, and the need for personalized teaching and student services to ensure academic and social success threatens our reserves of person power and money. You have been exceptional in raising graduation rates among the portion of our students who, though top students in their schools, arrive with the need to even up with other students who have come from more affluent zip codes. Four, our faculty members are terrific scholars and teachers, combining research, service, and teaching in distinctive ways. But our funding model and workloads do not reward or enable research and service in ways that I think are sustainable. Student success depends on our faculty and our staff having the time to support students and create the pipelines we need to promote the excellence of diversity on our campus. Finally, we are generally collegial and egalitarian, but we exist at times in a context of suspicion and unnecessary hierarchy. I anticipate some tensions associated with negotiations with our valued colleagues in CFA, and assure you that my goal is for a fair compensation package to be available to all. Faculty compensation issues and tensions exist not only in California, but across the nation, of course, as public universities face the need to completely rethink funding models. This is a giant threat to quality of American education. So these are just a few of the higher education things I think about as I try to fall asleep at night. Through the Declare campaign for Cal State Long Beach, we have raised over $225 million on the foundations of unequaled access, transformation, and greater community. Until recently, I thought about these pillars of our campaign as associated mainly, or almost entirely, with students' opportunity, education, and futures. I've started wondering, however, how we might ensure everyone in the Beach family is included in these goals. That is, what does faculty and staff unequaled access, greater community, and transformation look like? What kinds of greater communities can be built across campus and in the region for the benefit of our students and our professional well-being and innovation? I'll need your help to figure this out, and also to choose the best ways to introduce and sustain change so that we all benefit from a strong focus on these three areas. So I'll be asking for members of our community from every sector to work with me to develop an intentional plan to make the beach the best place in the galaxy to work and to learn. We need clarity of purpose, and a purpose that grows from the aspirations of all of our community members. Some of the questions I need answers to are, what kinds of support do faculty, staff, and students need to connect their innovative ideas to cutting-edge pedagogies, community engagement, publications, grants, and to markets? Are we offering the best opportunities for professional travel and cross-campus and cross-institutional connections to enhance faculty and student scholarship? What kinds of faculty and staff development should be offered to keep everyone's skills at the cutting edge to meet their professional and our students' needs? Can we find ways to continually upgrade our organizational climate to ensure appropriate autonomy, development opportunities, useful feedback, recognition for meritorious achievement, challenging but attainable goals, and appropriate resources to get the job done? So what lies ahead? What are we and every other thinking, learning university facing? What questions or what issues are occupying the time of the best and the hottest colleges like us? Well, certainly focus on data. And I apologize if Dan O'Connor's here. He told me that every time we said data, some angel lost its wings. But I think, I don't know, is Dan here? Yeah, I think he said, yeah, he's the one. But sorry, Dan, do it. So focus on data. Learning as creating, the hybrid course experience, meeting diverse learning needs, promoting flexibility and innovation, responding to ever-increasing expectations from our system, our state, our nation, our students, and all of our stakeholders. Universal design of our learning experiences, especially so that students who enter with physical and cognitive challenges can be successful. Rethinking our physical spaces, skills-based learning, multidisciplinary learning and research, celebrating and ensuring the excellence of diversity, and creating sustainable campus environments. We have been developing efforts to meet most of these challenges mentioned above. We are responding to what the rest of the nation is struggling with. But despite the wise advice not to fix things that are not broken, I think, number one, we live in changing times that demand responsiveness on our side. That is the VUCA environment I mentioned earlier, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. And number two, that built into our university realities are likely processes and norms that do not enable success in the 21st century. For example, and this is just one possibility, disciplinary silos that limit our ability to focus on the grand challenges of the day that have already been mentioned by our student body president and our chair of the Academic Senate, which include healthcare, water, climate change, terrorism, immigration, poverty, racism, energy, homophobia, globalization, sustainable economic development, political corruption and gridlock, and other small matters of national and international concern. Land-grant universities were created to work on societal issues as they emerged, and we certainly have some in our century. With your help and advice, we need to eliminate the barriers to our success and impediments to the ways we share and create knowledge critical to addressing these grand challenges of the day. We must also be aggressive in reaching our carbon neutral goal for our health, that was a baby picture of mine. Yeah, no, I just don't tell you. So we must be aggressive in reaching our carbon neutral goal for our own health, the health of our region and world, and as a model for others. On this note, do investigate a recent report from our Sustainability Task Force on all of our campus efforts in sustainability. You will be impressed. I think we should ask ourselves if we're organized and/or we hire new faculty and staff in ways to reach new levels of achievement for our students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Do our traditional departmental structures still make the most sense? Should we begin to organize ourselves in ways that bring the power of the sciences and humanities together? Research in the social sciences and health more connected to the realities of diverse populations? Leverage the expertise of both our student affairs and academic affairs professionals for student development? The ingenuity of the engineer with the creativity of the artist? The performance and communication skills from our Cole Conservatory, paired with the planning and business acumen from our business school, all supported by our vast library of electronic and print resources. Your proposals around this idea, and many others, are most welcome. Or you might say, this is not going to happen, but we'll be setting up a series of focus groups. We'll have a dedicated email address and a website so we can begin a campus conversation. I know there is substantial wisdom throughout our organization. I also know that student and organizational success depends on everyone being involved, so my requests for input are sent out to all. In addition, I think we should work to translate the excitement and commitment generated by our exceptional athletic programs, including club and intramural sports, into the everyday experience of most of our students. In the 21st century, and I owe this language to Michael Crow and his ASU colleagues, we must prepare to be increasingly privately supported while remaining publicly accountable, and be willing to take major responsibility for the economic well-being of our region. We have so much to contribute from each of our colleges and divisions. This means finding the time and creativity to build and evaluate new teaching and learning strategies to facilitate success of all of our students. This is a central challenge as our students' diversity demands constantly evolving teaching and learning experiences. Our success as a university depends on our effectiveness with low-income students who are right now woefully underrepresented in careers and positions that support a middle-class life. That is, an education that leads to social mobility, or more poetically, the American dream. Although I will mention that we were rated very high on a recent social mobility index. I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of you for facilitating that. We must be willing to recommit every year to our mission of accessible and excellent education for the sake of our students, to be sure, but also to improve our city, our region, our state, and nation, and by the way, our own futures. I'm asking a lot for relatively small rewards. I have asked the vice presidents to work with leadership in each of their divisions to develop strategies for addressing faculty and staff compensation challenges such as compression and inversion, while of course working hard to match the market in total compensation for every one of our employees and meeting our collective bargaining obligations. This will take time and likely create some issues while we solve some others, but I think every one of us must welcome accountability, and everyone deserves to be recognized for hard and meritorious work. I also think we must look deeply and with some complexity to what contributes to organizational excellence, as Praveen mentioned. It's not doing the same thing. It's not everyone doing the same thing and being evaluated on the same outcomes. We can be an example of a new American urban land-grant university by being clear that it takes a village to support student success. I want us to really reward exceptional teaching, especially those teachers who even up our students' chances when they arrive as top students but from somewhat inferior high schools. I want us to recognize those who forge critical partnerships in our region that support research, teaching, internships, apprenticeships, and professional goals for faculty, staff, and students. All of these ideas are in the works. We must continue and expand our national leadership in the arts with the special excitement these exhibits and performances engender. I will be especially attentive to efforts to improve graduate education this year. Our master's and doctoral educational experiences are passports to many vital careers, and are a special support for our own research distinctiveness. We must also expand some of the innovative efforts from our humanities departments to establish firmly their places in the development of the truly educated citizen. I am especially impressed with several of the departments who have been partnering with other major fields to share their special insights to a broader audience of students and faculty colleagues. I'd like us to begin a process of change or evolution without knowing exactly where we'll end up. Yeah, it's a great show. But except to know that it will be a better place if we live by our values of transformation, unequal access, and greater community. During the marathon that is commencement, I heard stories from students that inspired my hope and conviction that we are up to the task of constant renewal for our community's success. Students spoke of finding hope, acceptance, new identities, and pride because of working with you. And this, all in addition to reporting on the great specialized and general education they received. The challenge in any purposeful evolution process is identifying what to conserve and what to reinvent. Our willingness to make changes guided by the three pillars of unequaled access, transformation, and greater community guarantees a sterling national reputation for our campus, high-impact educational experiences for our students, personal career achievements for each of you, and optimization of our team accomplishments, and innovative service to our city, our region, and our nation. We already have a long list of signature accomplishments, events, and programs. I'm going to mention a few. It's kind of a long list, but I can tell you it's incomplete. Think service learning, wetlands conservation, fighting obesity, nurturing sea turtles, saving pets from coyotes, internships, mobile health service, sharks, policy research to support compassionate responses to sexual assault survivors, summer bridge programs, research partnerships, tax help for low-income community members, the 6th consecutive Commissioner's Cup for our athletic department from the Big West, and the AD of the Year award for our own AD, Vic Siglis. International travel for our students, Men's Success Initiative, drought-tolerant landscapes, artistic performance and exhibits, vast extended learning and library resources, Trauma Recovery Center, Math Collaborative, undergraduate research program, and other community services clinic. And I could go on, but I know you're saying, thank you, Jane, that's enough. A new signature accomplishment will be a smoke and tobacco-free campus by August 2016. You can recognize the work of Andy Wong up there, can't you? So we're calling this campaign Breathe. And so thank you, task force members and co-chairs Claire Garrido-Ortega and Natalie Whitehouse-Capuano. This is another step toward building a campus dedicated to health, well-being, and success. Stay tuned to all the opportunities that will be offered for cessation programs and inserting positive behaviors to counter addictive behaviors. Another opportunity, I think, is the greater investment we plan to make in our honors program to showcase participation in university honors as yet another reason for high-achieving students with particular evidence of grit to come to the beach. We have a charter and a destiny to serve our community, having been founded on an urban land grant. We have world-class faculty and staff whose work at the beach can add to their reputations as well as our university's prestige. We are innovative and entrepreneurial enough to develop compensation improvements for our hardworking and accomplished community members. Most of us are in teams that are the basis of our success and whose viability and effectiveness we treasure. We can optimize them. We should think about how to keep evolving to stay the best. I think one thing that's scary is the feeling that change is a zero-sum game. I believe, however, we can all be winners if we recall that our purposes are to provide opportunity, create transformational experiences, and promote greater community, not to simply conserve particular organizational structures. We are poised to continue our creation as an urban land-grant university, one that parlays local action into global recognition, creates budget models that buffer against volatile state budgets and political swings, values student learning, and creates and evaluates innovative pedagogies to ensure it, and takes responsibility for the economic development of its region. That's a pretty tall order. So there's two things you have to do. First, you have to follow me on Twitter. Is Coach Munson here? I saw him earlier. Are you here, Coach? Okay, stop following him. He didn't come. Really. I must surpass, you see, hashtag surpass MBB Coach. That's Coach Dan Munson. He's got over 3,000 followers. I don't. I want to beat him just because, all right? So I know it's a tall order. So we better get started on our work as an urban land-grant university, and let's go beach. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane, for those inspiring remarks. Oops. Thank you very much for being here today. It's the start of a fantastic year. We have so much to be proud of, so much to celebrate. So have a wonderful rest of the day, and go beach.